Today I'm going to show you how to do an easy, perfect bow in 3 steps, just like this. So stay tuned and keep watching. Hello subscribers and future subscribers. Taking this wrap package, we're going to make a loop and a tail, and you're not going to cut the ribbon from the spool in advance. The first 3 times that you do this bow, I want you to practice and give yourself a little bit of extra ribbon. After you master this, and it'll only take 3 times, you'll never waste a scrap of ribbon again. So let me just unwind a little bit more. And so now we've got a long tail and a loop, and we're ready to go. I'm going to put this on the left side, and we're working left to right. I'm going to roll it around the box without twisting it or turning it over, and now I've come to the other side. At that point, we'll cut the ribbon off. We're going to take this end, and we're going to slide under this line, and we're going to slide under this line. We're just going to slide it under, which is why I have my thumb right there. So let's do that. Doesn't this seem like a breeze? This is actually going to bring us to the end of the first step. You'll see on the back, it's flat. And that's what we're going for. And I'm just kind of wiggling this over to get it into the center of the box. And you can see I've got my ribbon here. I got my other end here. This one's very long because we're practicing. I'm going to take my loop, and it's still going to have a tail, and we're going to tie this just like you tie your shoelaces. And it's that easy. Since I'm right-handed, I'm going right over left. Make the bunny ears, and now we'll pull the loops tight. And we're almost to the end of step number 2. Look at that. Wasn't that easy? Now that we've made our bow, I'm just going to tighten it up and we'll trim it. However, I'm not going to trim this ribbon, and I can explain why in just a minute. Step number 3 is we would trim the ribbon at, forget about this side, we would trim the ribbon at an angle parallel to the bottom of the package. So that's the 3rd step. We just tidy up the bow and trim each tail parallel to the bottom of the package. The reason I said I'm not going to do that right now is you can tell I just pulled that off, and since we didn't ever twist it or change directions, it's a perfect piece of ribbon, and I can reuse this and I can tie another box. So that's going to be our second practice. Let's grab that one right now. Look at how fast I can wrap. Okay. This time, instead of going in landscape, I want to go in portrait, and I'm going to show you exactly the same thing. So again, I'm working left to right. Typically, I would secure it with my thumb, just the way I'm showing you. I'm coming around the box, and when I get to my thumb, I'm going to pull the ribbon back toward me. And now, you can tell, we have a flat back. There's no twist, there's no turn. It's a flat back, and that's exactly what we want. So now I can take, this is going to be one loop and tail, and I can take the other end, which is, again, we've got plenty to practice with. So I'm just sliding it underneath this and this other one. I don't want to twist it or turn it. So I'm just gently going to make sure that that does not happen, and I'll pull it back toward the center because we're ready to tie our shoelaces again. All we have to do is make the bunny ears on each side, and that's step number 2, is just tying that bow just like you tie your shoelaces. And look at how easy that is, and look at how fantastic that is. Now this actually is almost just about right in terms of the length and the fact that the tail is just a little bit longer than the loop, so it's not going to need much finessing. But step number 3 is always just to kind of even things out and then trim up those tails. And again, we would cut the tails at an angle parallel to the bottom of the box. Once you've mastered this technique, if you would rather cut the tails parallel to the sides at an angle, that is okay. Just make sure that you're consistent. So if you cut this one parallel to the side, you want to cut this one parallel to the side. And if you cut this one parallel to the bottom, you want to cut this one parallel to the bottom. Just be consistent. And I'm just going to undo this one again because it's going to come off so easily. I can re-roll this, and when you give a present like this with a pretty ribbon, if the recipient doesn't want to keep it, retrieve it, and then you can roll it around your spool, and it'll be ready for the next time that you wrap a smaller box, which is exactly the way I was demonstrating. Just for comparison, this is the first box we started with, and this one is smaller, which is how I was able to reuse that same ribbon, but I never trimmed the tails. And on the last one, we will. So we've had 2 practices. The first time we did landscape, and the second time we did portrait. And now, for the third and final time, I've got a special treat. This is going to make it so much easier. Look at how that has those arrows, and you can tell exactly which direction it's going in. So when you rewatch this video, if you need to replay any of it, just to slow down and see how the ribbon is going around the box, the arrows will tell you. So let's do that. And plus, I think it looks fantastic with this paper. So this will be a very pretty finished box. So again, we don't cut the ribbon before we start. This is the left side, this is the right side, and I'm working left to right. I need enough for a loop and a tail, plus some extra because we haven't quite perfected things yet. But look, this is going to be just about the right amount. So right there, that's fine. Let's roll the ribbon across the box, and I'll show you each side as it's rolling. This is the back I'm holding up here, okay? And then I'm going to come around to this last side, and I've got my thumb because I want to cross over my thumb, and now I'm going to go around one more time, and this is the back, and we're almost back to the front. Okay, so now we're at the front here. So, from about the center of the package, we need to have enough for a loop and more for a tail. Let's be extra generous because we want to get this one just perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this right about here. I'm going to be able to tie that perfect bow for you. Yes, you. Make sure that you like this video so that I can keep showing you these things, and it'll help others because they'll be able to watch this. Has anybody ever shown you such an easy way to do this? I know that if you search for how to tie a bow, you can find plenty of tutorials, but what I've noticed is a lot of them have some extra steps that just kind of overcomplicate it. So I want to keep this super easy. So I'm going to take this end, and I'm going to slide under both ribbons. This one and that one. That's right. Okay. So here we go. I'm just going to shimmy things back toward the center. And as I told you, we don't want to twist or turn, so always the arrows on this ribbon should be up on each side. You should not see it change, but it's showing you exactly what direction. So I think this is very helpful. So here we have just about completed step number 1. And ready to move on to step number 2. I'm just going to even this out a little bit, and as long as you're not pulling too tightly, it's very easy to do, so that I've got just about the same amount on both sides. Earlier I was kind of just showing you the general technique, and now I really want to show you all those fine points that's going to make it absolutely perfect, so you can stay home to shop with me. Okay, now we're going to make our bunny ears, and we're going to do this just like our shoelaces. So I'm right-handed, which means I'm going to go right over left. I'm doing this upside down, but that's okay. I wanted you to be able to see it. So the third step, now that we've tied our bow, is just to tidy things up a bit. Okay, so now we finished step 2. I've gotten these about even. Isn't this pretty? Doesn't this look terrific together? Look at that great combination. And again, if you need to refresh and see which direction that I rolled the ribbon out, that's why I use the arrow ribbon. So I'm almost ready to trim up the tails and we'll be done with this. And then you can practice on your own. But again, give yourself 3 times of practice. Make sure you have enough extra ribbon when you first start. And then after that, you can get a better idea of exactly how much, and you'll never waste any, and it'll always look so terrific like that. So are you ready to see the final result? I sure am. See, I went ahead and cut that one parallel to the bottom at an angle, and I just want to match that one on the other side. Okay, there we have it. That perfect bow in 3 easy steps. If it pulls a little bit here, that's normal. Don't worry about it. That is completely normal. If you use a different technique where you're pulling it really tight, that would be even more pronounced. But this is exactly how it should look, because we'll always be able to reuse this once we undo it and we're ready to wrap the next one. So until the next time I see you, yes, you, I hope you can stay home to shop with me. You're gonna stay home to shop with me, okay?
So if you ever feel like you might need someone to
This one looks really cute, doesn't it?